Well, hey everybody!
Hey!
Welcome to the live stream. We're just all sorts of technical issues today. Hi to everybody in the chat. That's Auburn Elvis and Kathy. We got a few watchers who haven't entered the chat. Delvin just needed to reboot his computer. It wasn't recognizing his microphone, so he'll be back in a moment. Jason's on vacation. Pat, how are you doing, man?
I am doing somewhat all right. I recovering from my bout.
Yes.
Sickness.
His bout with sickness.
Yes.
Betty Ford Clinic.
A couple steps in, but
I refuse to make reparations. Oh man, well we are here, everybody. We're going to do a live recording of Crusader Chronicles, and Pat has just recovered from the devious COVIDs. I'm glad you're feeling better. Can you taste food yet, Pat?
I can taste again. Yes, it is back.
Excellent.
It is back. I am back. Still a little tired from it, but I made it through.
Oh, okay. We already have a question in the chat, Pat. Can anybody make out the credits on Amazing Spider-Man's page 1? Looking forward to Pat's and Mike's Amazing World credits to know who did this one. I didn't. I always rely on the Mike's Amazing World. I haven't actually looked at page 1. Let me pull that bad boy up.
It was kind of the
way they did it or something. There it is. Let's see. I have it on the handy Marvel Unlimited. Let's see. Oh, right. They kind of played with them like it's a playbill.
Yeah.
I see Delvin reconnecting in the background, folks, so he'll be here in just a second. So we'll get this show on the road.
Go ahead and add him.
Let's add him. How you doing, Delvin? Can you hear us?
Yep, I can hear you just fine.
And is your microphone working? Well, you sound okay.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I did some vocal lessons. Restarting it worked. It
nice.
could see the microphone now, so I can hear my voice through my ears. It's still weird. Can't say I'm a fan.
It's again, you just got to play with the volumes to get them to where you like them.
Oh, it's not terrible or anything, but it's definitely one of those where I am now more acutely aware of when the computer reset, I could hear noise downstairs even more now than I ever could. Yeah, I feel like I gained a mutant power or something like that. Hello, everybody.
You can always go
Hey
back
there.
to the cordless headphones. The wires are there for when you don't have the cordless ones charged.
Yeah, the moment that I do that,
that's weird that you can actually. That's weird that you can actually hear yourself in your headphone. I don't hear me.
I hear me.
I don't really hear me either. Now that I think,
I hear myself talking in the room, but
anyway,
welcome to Podcasting 101.
You're smart enough. People like you, Jared. Ba 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 boo. Oh, I forgot we were live. All right, we should probably do a show.
Let's do that. War Eagle Kathy, by the way.
War Eagle Kathy, War Eagle Auburn Elvis is in all Auburn chat right now.
Yeah,
that's fine by me.
Well, Pat, I think this is your show, so we can shut up and let you start whenever you want. Let's try to make
ice. Get rid of the ice. Everybody take a drink before we start. Get going, but yes, we are doing this live.
Take a
here,
drink like alcohol. Am I supposed to have an alcoholic beverage? Was I supposed to
Pat and I are Coke Zero Bros.
Was I supposed to get lit before the show?
Get that caffeine and. Don't
all right, Auburn Elvis is trying to help you in the chat, but Auburn Elvis, he's on a MacBook. So if you do have any help for him on the Mac settings, we really appreciate it.
But then I can say my Mac sounds nice. Check.
People tuned in for this. I can't believe it. All right. Well,
oh my god.
I don't have my lighting right. There we go. Now I look good. Look how good I look.
Oh yeah, my lighting isn't on.
Look how good I look.
My lighting's on now too. Okay.
Oh, what did this happen?
I wanted to put myself on maximum screen so people can see.
I saw myself and I'm like, that's crazy. Oh, well, we got a couple more added to the watch list here as we get started. One on Facebook. So whoever you are out in Facebook land, chime in, get in the chat. 3 watching on the website or on the YouTube channel.
So like this.
I do too.
There we go. So make sure you get in. Do we have anything to give away for?
To give away? Yeah. Of course I do, Pat.
Okay.
What kind of half-ass live stream do you think we're doing? Yeah, at the end of the show.
About as half-ass as we normally do.
Well, yeah, about as normal. Yeah, that's fair.
Fair.
No, yes. Yeah. So far, there's a 50-50 chance of winning because Auburn, Elvis, and Kathy are the only people in the chat. And they're both Crusaders Club members, so it's more like I don't know, 87%. I don't know.
I'm scared of the one.
Are you got those names, Delvin? Or you want me to get them?
I get them.
All right. Kathy and Auburn knows. But yeah, I've got the usual giveaway for people who are in the chat. And then I have a giveaway for Crusaders Club members. Pat, I shared with you our Crusaders Club members $5 and $10
yes.
Spreadsheet is the word I'm looking for. So yes, if you're a $5 or $10 level Crusaders Club member, it looks like we might be sending you some free shirts this summer. So look forward to that. Exciting stuff.
I waited long enough.
Got me just right. I spit a little. This is a little spit on my. There's the little spit that came out and hit my iPad. This is the kind of entertainment you get here at the Longbox Crusade. I should probably go on mute,
especially when we're doing it live now.
Yes. All right. I'll go on. I'll go mute myself. Pat,
all right. Just give it a little couple seconds here.
You better shut that dog up. Is that Chuck? Chuck. Better shut that up. Shut up, Chuck. Sorry, we're all on mute, everyone. Pat's dog is barking, so he's waiting for the dog to stop.
It helps when everybody else goes on mute too. So
Chuck is he's a cute dog though.
He is. Really feisty. But all right, we can get started. We will take some questions or things like that in the chat. So if you are watching us do this recording of Crusader Chronicles episode 63 live, please shout out in the chat when it's your turn or as you're going along there. So
I heard Kathy was going to edit this one.
Was she?
Back on mute.
It's going to be a good one to edit. Should be go pretty easy. Jason's not here.
Yeah, they clearly can cut off the first 8 minutes and 49 seconds.
So, all right. Well, let's get started. Get this ball rolling here of fun that we have going on. So, again, welcome everybody in the chat or watching us live as we record Crusader Chronicles episode 63. All right, here we go. We'll start it off in 3, 2. You're listening to Crusader Chronicles episode 63, featuring Amazing Spider-Man number 207 and X-Men number 3. No, not the 300. Number 136 from May 1980. Hello and welcome to the 63rd episode of Crusader Chronicles podcast. I'm your host, Pat, a.k.a. DJ Chris Statos. Crusader Chronicles is a podcast that will journal the comic book issues read chronologically by their release date from my comic book collection, either in a digital, in a trade or from the many long boxes stashed away in my basement. Each episode will provide short recaps, reviews, and ratings on the issues for the release date. The goal is to keep me actively reading through my collection and having some fun along the way, talking about them with my friends. And joining me, as always, is Jared Albrick, aka Death Probe.
Hello, Pat. I need you, after we're done recording today, get with me. I've got a contract for you to sign.
Oh,
you could be part of my show.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind, I wouldn't mind being part of your show. It seems like there might be something in it for me, but I just want to have Laurel look some of the paperwork over.
She is our contracting officer, has been since I want to say 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And the only problem is that I was checking her attendance record again, and apparently she hasn't been to work since 2018 in ever.
What?
Yeah. Anyway, I'll try to get the contract to you via Laurel. And
okay.
We'll see.
Yeah, if you could go through, I'd appreciate that. I always like to run everything through her, and she makes sure we're on the up and up here.
I think she does.
Yeah, well, I haven't heard anything back, so I'm just assuming it's okay to go with it. Is what I do. So no news from Laura is good news, But speaking about some good news, also joining us is Delvin the Dark Web. How are you, Delvin?
I'm good, Pat. And look, I know you've been angry, okay, and to the point that just out of control. Like some would say that it even consumed worlds that you're so angry. But I just want to talk to you. Like look, me and Jared, we're here for you, Pat. Like we love you. And
you can't contain me.
But I mean, understand, like, you haven't destroyed us yet. So if you haven't destroyed us yet, that means you love us too. That's right.
You guys, I do. How can I ever destroy you guys?
Jason, no! He mind blasted you.
Yeah. Jason's dead, I think.
No, Jason mind blasted Pat. That's what happened.
Oh.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So, yeah.
You can't
we're in
hurt
trouble
me.
now, I guess.
That would explain Pat's nosebleed. Can't see it if you're not on the live stream.
Excuse me. But, oh, yeah. Man, I gotta stop doing that.
You'll be all right.
But no heroin.
That's right.
I'll be all right. I'll get through this one. Wow. But speaking about Jason, where is Jason? You might be asking yourself. Could anybody tell me where Jason?
I think we were all asking. No. Jason had to take a bit of an unfortunate vacation. He is back with our family in Indiana. We had a bit of a tragedy, and he's kind of taking care of that. I put him in charge of it, but he will be back. We are recording Action Film Face Off on Thursday. He'll be back for that, but. Yeah, it was an unfortunate time for our family, but Jason's taking care of it, and he will be welcomed back on our recording on Thursday.
Well, the hearts of the LBC family go out to
we appreciate
the Albrick family. Lots of love. All right. Well, with that, if you guys want to join in, like the live people that are watching us record this live out on the YouTube channel, you come and join us. Watch for announcements on our socials out there of when we will be going live and what we're recording. Or if you want to interact with us via voicemail, you can do that too by leaving us a message at 707-532-5269. That's 707-532-LBOX.
Pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah, that's always warming to my ears. But before we get started with this episode's issues, let's take a quick podcast promo break, and we will be right back. Ooh.
Oh, I want to welcome Courtney to the chat and Big Brother Big Easy to the chat. Always welcome here. Thanks for stopping by, fellas.
Speaking
Big
of,
Easy likes our pick up the phone. He gave us a
smooth. Yeah. You should hear it. Wait till you hear the next released episode of Chronicles. I was just editing it the other day, and we got to this part, and I put a little background with some smooth music for that.
Is it like the didn't you do like a little mini commercial about it one time? Like we were
yeah, because you and me were
line.
yeah, you and me were doing something. We were ripping on it, and it was like, wait till it's like you know when you're editing and it's like, like, oh, I got to edit this, got to get through this, and then you do something really cool, and you're like, I kept going back for like 10 minutes just to listen to it over.
Just because you're like, oh, I'm so proud of what I've done. Yes, I've been there before. That's for sure.
So I was like, oh, maybe I should snip this out and give it to you guys. But
remember when I did those Chubbins and Sweetums songs?
Yep.
A lot like that.
Yep.
Just hours of wasted time.
We need some more Chubbins and Sweetums.
Yeah, well, one of them passed away, man.
Yeah.
Chubbins and Sweetums, it was 1-2-1-2. Now it's just like 1, then 1.
Maybe there's a new, I don't know.
We'll have to look into it.
I don't know.
Anybody out there remember Chubbins and Sweetums? 2-1-2. If you're messing with Sweetums, then I'm messing with you. Good times. I'm gonna go back on mute.
Yeah, remember when you guys said we're gonna have a shorter show because Jason wasn't here?
Hey, shut up.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're making the show longer right now.
Sorry. Oops. My bad.
All right. Well, we will get into it. So we're getting for those in the chat that are following along with us. Thank you. Please make sure you get in the chat to get in on a drawing. And also, we're going to start going through the first issue of Spider-Man. So we want to make sure we get your voices heard here as we go through cover description and what we're going to rate the cover. So start thinking about that when the time comes. We will go ahead and present some of your answers along with some stuff in the chat as we go through. So if you guys are ready, everybody in the chat ready, let's do this. And we'll bring it back in 3, 2. Welcome back from the break. Now let's get to the first featured comic for this episode. And it is Amazing Spider-Man number 207. The credits for this issue are provided by Mike's Amazing World of Comics. Publisher was Marvel. It's got a cover date of it's got a cover date of August 1980, but its on sale date was May 13th, 1980. Cover price goes for 40 cents. Editor and writer for this one was Dennis J. O'Neill. Penciler was Jim Mooney. Inker Pablo Marcos. Letterer is James R. Novak, and colorist is Ben Sheen. I think it's Sheen.
Sean.
Okay. We'll go with
like
Ben.
Sean Connery.
Okay.
Dalvin, stop making the show long.
Sorry.
You realize everything he says now for the rest of the episode.
Yeah. Damn it, Jason. You're not even here and you're making it longer. Colorist is Ben Sean. You can read along with us in.
Hey, Pat, it's Sean, like Sean Connery. Yeah, it's spelled the exact same. Am I taking up enough time? Okay, keep going.
Okay. You can read along with us in Essential Spider-Man Volume 9 trade paperback, or if you have the Marvel Masterworks Volume 268, which features Amazing Spider-Man Volume 20. I believe it's also on Marvel Unlimited. So there's lots of ways to read along with us, and we hope that you do. Cover credits go to penciler Michael Netzler. And inker is Alan Milgram. Speaking about the cover, let's go ahead and get a cover description from Jared.
You got it. They say the Marvel Comics group banner is black letters on a light blue background. They say Spidey swings in his orange corner box. But the Amazing Spider-Man logo is yellow with blue highlights. Does it have webs? I think it might. The main action shows our hero center stage at a playhouse, looking confused as explosions go off around him. The glitter is rubbing right off of Peter's knight, and he's nowhere. They say the large green and purple image of Mesmero hovers over Spider-Man, but looking at it just gives me the blues. The cover blurb states, "Final curtain." But they're wrong. I know they are, because my boy Spidey will be a star. Clues, gentlemen? Anyone got any guesses?
Yes, please, because I am.
What if I had a
My
little...
guess, Jared, is the final countdown.
It's a good guess, but no.
Dang it.
Like, there's several of them that if I added a little sing-song quality, you'd probably get. They say the Marvel Comics Group banners, black letters on a blue background on Broadway.
Okay.
They say the Spidey swings in his orange quarter box on Broadway. It's the Drifters on Broadway.
So
that
was a hard one.
Yeah, it's an older song, so I was like, I don't know if they'll get this one. I have a love for oldies. I love the Drifters. They're actually the first band I ever saw in concert.
Oh, really? Wow.
So
very cool.
Yeah, so it's a special memory for me. And I figured I'd get a little Drifters love. That's a good song, by the way.
It is.
You probably aren't listening to it now on YouTube because we don't have the rights, but go check it out on Broadway by the Drifters.
Oh, very cool. I was mesmerized by all the words of it.
Broadway.
All right. Well, now that we got the cover description out of the way, let's go ahead and get some quick cover thoughts on this one. And we'll start with Delvin. What's your thoughts on this cover, Delvin?
Do you remember Marvel Tales? The comic book that they came out with that was a cheap alternative to buying older issues of Amazing Spider-Man, because who wants to go back and buy old issues of Amazing Spider-Man?
Yeah, who would do that?
Sounds expensive.
Crazy.
Idiots with money to burn, apparently.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. So
I think we were at your house and we were like cooking and we're like, hey, Delvin, we need some coal for the fire to start outside. And you're like, started chucking money at us.
Yeah, that's me. I'm that rich that I can just throw money at you instead of coal to burn. Regardless, Marvel Tales. A lot of times on those, like, they will come up, they're not going to put the original cover. They're going to put like some version of that cover on for the cover of Marvel Tales. And usually it's not a famous author, famous penciler. Sometimes it is, but usually it's like some, I hesitate to say throwaway penciler, but like not like on a book or anything. And, they're just calling someone up, say, hey, you want to draw this cover? It needs to look like this kind of. And they're like, yeah, okay. That's what I think of this cover. It looks like a Marvel Tales cover. It does not wow me in any way. Is it bad? No. Does it like really entice me in any way to read the book? Also no. So like that's kind of where I'm left when I look at it. Is like, would this inspire me to want to pick up the book for any reason other than I like Amazing Spider-Man? That's it. That's the only reason.
I think I am feeling you definitely on that as well, Delvin. That do I want to read what's going on in here? I don't know.
Yeah.
The scheme of it, the colors are kind of interesting, but that's about it for me. Jarrett, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, the same. I really like the colors a lot, and I don't know. I think this is one of those cases where the cover, it's colorful and it's got some action and it's a little dynamic. I feel like it might have oversold the issue even a little bit. This, Denny O'Neil being editor and writer, Jim Mooney on pencils. They're definitely just trying to get something out right now. I think they're just trying to get something out. And it's a pretty cool looking cover if you like Mesmero. It's how we talk about on the RGI Joe show, Pat. Like, certain covers, if you like Cobra Commander, you'll like this cover. If you like Serpentor, as it's pronounced, I'm quite certain, you'll like this cover. If you like Mesmero, this is your jam. But there's not a lot of Mesmero fans out there. Not saying there's zero, but there's not a lot. And I'll leave it at that. What do you think, Pat?
Again, I agree with you guys as well, too. This one is definitely not one that's jumping out at me to read it or interested to see what's going on. Will it be something I might remember? maybe because it's that weirdy kind of odd of a issue or cover, but I guess we'll have to see as we go through the story synopsis. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get into the cover ratings for this one. And I'm wondering where we're going to be. I know, well, we'll figure it out. We'll go to Delvin. 1 through 4. Oh, wait, before we go through you, I have to remind people of our rating systems here. How could I forget that?
You almost forgot, Pat. I mean, we've been doing this for like 60 some odd episodes. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. Can you?
Barely. I can barely believe it.
Not really.
Jared, no, not really. Keep going, Pat. I don't want to hold the show like Jared just did.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you what the rating system is here. It's a 1 through 5 rating system. 5 means you loved it. It tickled your tummy feather. Ooh, I like that. 4 is you really liked it. 3 liked it. 2 didn't like it. And 1, you hated it. It ruffled your tummy feathers. Ooh, not so good. Delvin, now tell me 1 through 5. What are you going to rate this?
It's a 3. It's a very unenthusiastic 3. I'm not going. I look at it and it's not bad. It just didn't move me or inspire me in any way. I could have given it a 2, and I don't think anyone would have said anything. But I'm at 3. Jared, what do you think?
3. I think it's artistically it's pretty good. The colors are okay. Not a huge grabber, but it gets by. I'm going 3.
All right, guys. Well, if you're all the 3, it's very it's like
you don't have to do it just for Three's Company. You can give it a 2, Pat. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I didn't like it. This one, I'm giving it a 2. Shoot,
what the heck, Pat? I wanted to do Three's Company. Like, I mean, I gave that to you out of grace, but I mean, you're supposed to like say, okay, I'm gonna give it a 3. Oh man,
I hate this show.
This episode.
I'm sorry. I knew I just ruined the Three's Company, but
I contractually told Pat I can't tell him I hate him anymore. So I hate this show. I wish Jason was here instead of Pat.
This is actually, it's hard for me to give away a 2. I don't think I have on a cover out of all that, but this one,
if you're not a Mesmero fan, I can see where it doesn't do it for you.
I would bump it up, but I can't to a half, to get me there. I just can't.
No.
Yeah. And I'm not a Mesmero fan. I maybe need a little more Mesmero action or get memorized myself or whatever, but it's just not, I'm just not feeling it. Well, all right. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and see what the story brings us. At least there's got to be something there, right? Let's find out. Delvin, can you provide us a story synopsis?
Absolutely, Pat. The title of this book is Mesmero's Revenge. Was it? Sorry, I should say that again. The title of this book is Mesmero's Revenge. What would you do if you had one shot? One opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted? Would you capture it? Or would you be like Mesmero and put on a boring show where some dude was hypnotized juggling balls, quacking like a duck? For that matter, if you're Spidey, would you meddle in an affair you didn't have to meddle in and ruin your shot at losing yourself within Debbie Whitman? I mean that metaphorically. My mom might be watching this, and I was a valedictorian at one time. Super pristine reputation, folks. Anyway, Mesmero gets the hint that Spidey helped save the show from an actual fire as opposed to the dumpster fire that was his show, and makes him a monetary offer. Mesmero was mad the Daily Globe panned his show, and so he hypnotizes the critic into jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge. Mom spaghetti. Spidey makes the save and gets rewarded 2 tickets to a chorus line, a coast-to-coast show, which he invites Debbie to. He went back to the lab again because he knew he choked before and wants to snap back to reality before the clock runs out on Debbie. Blow? Sure, why not? Quick vignette as Jonah returns. The moment, he owns it. He better never let it go. We're almost done. Mesmero was mad because he didn't kill the critic, so he tricks Spidey into touching electrified money, knocking him out, and forces him to balance while juggling exploding balls. He said that, I didn't. This also causes Spidey to stand Debbie up again. She ain't gonna want him no more. He's co-product. And of course, Spidey wins this fight. This one-shot business with Spidey, I suppose it's old partner, but the beat goes on. Da-da-dum, da-dum-da. Back to you, Pat.
Oh, Delvin, I am sitting here eating some M&Ms with that.
Something, B Rabbit.
I like it. It was very good. Thank you, Delvin,
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
For laying down those lyrics. I was just about to lose myself, too, in the moment.
You own it.
I owned it. Yep.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's find out. Let's get to the bric-a-brac for this issue. Is it a first read or a reread? Jared.
The first read. Definitely did not have this one in my run.
Delvin. First read or reread?
First read for me, Pat.
First read for you. It is a first read for me, too. So at least, woohoo! You know what that means.
Reading
rainbow.
Reading rainbow. Reading rainbow. Is that's not a copyright strike?
We probably sang it so
but
good it might be.
Yeah,
that's true. I mean, it's like, was it me? Was it Shaka? I'm not sure.
Oh, it feels good to have the rainbow help us along here.
Yes, indeed.
Let's go ahead and get to some highs, lows, or what does. And we will go with Jared. We'll start with you. You got a high, low, or what the for this?
Again, it's a filler issue, clearly. Why they wanted to bring Mesmero in. Okay, you know what? There's a lot of different directions I go in that. Let me focus. Let me be focused. Debbie Whitman? They act like we know who she is.
Yeah, I know.
Did I miss something? Did she come over from Spectacular, maybe?
I think she's a Spec Spidey gal.
Yeah, I thought maybe since Jim Mooney was here.
I think they may have mentioned her once.
Because they were like, yeah, he's hanging out with Debbie Whitman. And I was like, what the hell did he say? I don't know that person.
Same here. I was like, why is he all close to her like that? And it's like, we're supposed to know this, but
according to our super sharp people in the chat, one of which being Auburn Elvis says Debbie Whitman is indeed from Spec Spidey.
Very good. Thank you. Anything else, Jared?
For this round, I'll just put kind of a Debbie Whitman. I mean, there's a lot of places we go with this, but hey, there's three of us here, so let's give Delvin time to talk.
Man, I tell you what, there are times where I would want to have time to talk, and this is like, so let's go with probably the most positive thing in the issue, and that is J. Jonah Jameson is back. I love it. He bursts into the room full of bombast and all Jonah-ish stuff, and even Robbie was like, man, I'm glad he's back. I was tired of doing this. I'm so glad that he's back. And they touched on what happened with the whole Jonas Hero thing, and that was a one-page thing that probably was the most brilliant thing that happened the entire book, because that seems like something that they can latch onto whenever the next big storyteller in Amazing Spider-Man comes. And this is uncharted territory for me. I have no idea who's going to be coming up to scribe the book on a long-term basis. No idea. So, but this sounds like something that could fit right into that continuity, that could be a part of that storyline that J. Jonah Jameson is back. So I'm happy for that.
Okay. I think I agree with you on that part of this issue. Was the standout part having, what's going on with Jonah and him come back. Do you guys feel that this issue was more of a one and done kind of a thing, and they're like, oh, we got to throw something in here at least to keep the the rest of the story going. Yeah, continuity kind of going where this is maybe a one-off story at one time.
Yeah, they needed to have a book come out this month. I mean, you had Denny O'Neil, who, if he's written for Amazing Spider-Man, I don't remember it. You got Jim Mooney, who is around the universe of Amazing Spider. He usually has inked Amazing Spider-Man instead of actually penciling it. He's done more of the Peter Parker, the Spectacular Spider-Man to this point. So, yeah, everything about this screams one shot, screams filler.
Sometimes, Pat, you got to eat the filler.
Yeah, sometimes you do. Sometimes you got to eat it. And this one, boy, was a tough chew for me. I'll tell you guys that right now. I was expecting more out of it, trying to understand the story going on. And, I'm just going to cut to the end of it real quick to say, boy, he really kind of just switched it around and got everything over with real quick.
Which kind of shows you what a filler issue that it was. Like, there wasn't even much of a fight. It's like the biggest fight was Spider-Man juggling balls.
Juggling balls.
Look, I got through it twice and not laugh. So, forgive me for laughing at it a third time. Yeah, that was it. And that wasn't even really much of a challenge for Spider-Man. It's like, he was cracking wise, and not even like good cracking wise. It's like, really?
Yeah.
This is it?
Yeah.
There's gasoline on the stage, and I have exploding balls in my hand.
You know what we say here on the LBC? Sometimes you got to juggle balls.
Mm-hmm. You do say that.
Yeah.
Yep. Definitely. Well, let's go ahead and go to round 2. Jarrett, what you got, a high, low, or what on this?
Well, unfortunately, I think we're gonna have to go with another low for this filler issue. I think it's worth reading Auburn Elvis's comment from the chat. He said, "Did Mesmero actually try to hypnotize Spider-Man? Seemed like he just figured paying him cash was easier than hypnosis, which is his sole superpower." and I kind of want to launch off of that. I mean, Auburn Elvis is right. Like it felt like we'll just use Mesmero, and the problem with it is, relatively recently we had Mesmero and X-Men, and he almost defeated all the X-Men. Like, he's a pretty powerful guy. He can
That's true.
And here he just looks like a buffoon.
He hypnotized Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Who is a high level telepath. Hypnotizer. Didn't even try it with Spidey.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jared. I'm interrupting.
Yeah, no, I mean,
that makes
you're
sense.
right. It's just misused, underused. I don't know. It just felt like, and I don't even want to blame Denny. Like, I have this funny feeling that they're like, "Hey, Denny, crank out a book," And he was like, "I'm sorry, what?" They're like, "Crank out a book." And he was like, "Okay, here's a Mesmero tale, kind of fun. It's got some stage, and I see what it's trying to do. Not mad about it. Just the proximity of it to the X-Men storyline that we read is only a couple years off. Too close. Back to you, Pat.
I do like that Mesmero he was trying to be good, but he just couldn't, and would that be a show you'd really want to go see?
Clearly not, since he did the show and there's a dude on stage quacking like a duck. And the audience was like, "This stinks." And then the critic was like, "This stinks." And Mesmero was like, "How dare that critic say it stinks?" It's like, but the crowd told you it stinks. No one was clapping for you, dude. This show was terrible. No one likes this. But so, yeah, Mesmero doesn't really seem like he was good at much. I guess he tried to make that run at being, on the straight and narrow good, but like his show just was not that good. Maybe he should have hypnotized the show and the audience into thinking that the show was good or something, because it just simply wasn't.
It's a great point. With his power level, why in the world would he have a bad show?
Yeah. Couldn't he just mesmerize the crowd to make them think that it was an awesome show?
Yeah. That's all I got.
Yeah. Delvin, do you have a high, low, or what the?
I was going to riff a little bit off of what Jared had said. it almost comes across like this entire this entire issue was paint by number. They're just a very, very formulaic issue. And with that said, it wasn't bad. I didn't think it was bad. I was swimming through the pages, and like you remember that Spidey episode where they did the recap like a couple years ago, and I just panned it like, oh my God, this is awful. Like, come on. Spidey's 15 years old at this point. People know what the heck Spider-Man's about. You really wasted an issue recapping his origin. Well, they didn't do that. They did do kind of just a little slice of life story. It just didn't happen to be that great. But they did at least advance the elements of the Daily Globe, and they advanced the elements of the Daily Bugle. So that was cool. And then, you got your lovable loser, Peter Parker story where he did save the day, but saving the day wound up costing him his chance at Debbie Whitman. So there were elements there. There just wasn't really anything to hold on to that I could point at and say this was particularly good or great, which should show you exactly where I'm going to be rating this when we get to that in a couple of minutes. That's really all I have. There's another Auburn Elvis comment that is funny and worth mentioning. He was saying, I looked up high test gasoline, which was poured on the stage by Mesmero. Mm-hmm. It says gasoline octane is measured by performing a test in a standard engine. High test gas means a gas with a high octane rating. High test gas is better stabilized against spontaneous combustion, so it actually burns slower. So I bet chemist Peter Parker was laughing at Mesmero for that one. Pete never took Mesmero seriously or ever at all. It's like, yeah, this was your big plan to have me suspended, and
he plugged in electrified money instead of using his hypnosis powers. Like,
right?
What?
Right. He could have just said, "And you're asleep," and Pete probably would have fallen asleep. But he could have. I don't know. There's any number of things Mesmero could have done, but like at no point other than on hapless audience or people in the audience. Actually, no. Well, no, he hypnotized the audience member. He hypnotized that critic, and he did hypnotize the audience again, but he never tried it on Spidey, which is just weird. You might want to hypnotize the most powerful person that you're going to encounter in the story. That's kind of a big plot loop to me.
Maybe I'm going to do a no prize on this one, but maybe he didn't do it because he was afraid of what happened in the X-Men. Does that make the story any better? No.
Is it a good no prize? Yeah,
maybe.
It's a plausible no prize, but
they didn't mention it.
I tell you what, though, like if I had mind altering powers that I've got to do one, and I'm worried that if I hypnotize someone more powerful than me, then they might kick my butt. I better go and do some karate or some jiu-jitsu or something, so I'm not afraid of everyone. If I have this cool, awesome power, you want to at least be able to use it. That's all I'm saying. You can't just go by the rest of your life hypnotizing just normal schmoes. If you are, you don't want to. He could have done that on a much lower level. Like you remember right around issue 200 where Mysterio had that whole scam, like scamming old people in the insurance company. And he's like, to hell with worrying about all these superpowered freaks here and there. I'm just going to go prey on old people. Like, hey, dude, that makes sense.
Yeah, that was a better scam.
That was a better scam. And Mesmero could have done something similar. Like, okay, yeah, you don't have to be on a Broadway stage. You could just, I don't know, hypnotize people into bringing you groceries.
Or just handing you money.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I'm kind of broke. You got $30? Sweet. Thank you.
Or hypnotize the critics that come in.
Yeah.
And to write a good thing about it. That way you get more people bringing you in money.
Any number of things he could have done that he did not do that makes it just a little bit weird.
Jarrett, do you have anything more highs or lows about this issue?
No, I like that we talk a lot about positivity on the show, and it's just a filler issue. I mean, that's it at the end of the day. I'm not mad at anybody involved. They got a last minute deadline. They did.
Oh,
but it is what it is.
The positive I'm gonna give this one is I did enjoy the artwork in it.
Yeah, Mooney
I
showed out pretty good.
Pretty good artwork. No,
I think that's what that kept me turning the pages through here, is just kind of looking and enjoying that nice art that I was seeing to help tell the story. It's just there wasn't really a lot of meat on the story for me. Dylan, do you have anything else?
All done, Pat.
All right. Well, with that, why don't we go ahead and get into silly Spidey moments? And whew, I'm wondering what you guys saw. Which one I'm going to pick, so I'm just going to call it out right now.
Bunky.
So,
yep, saw that Bunky.
he calls him Bunky, gets the Bunky in there, and which is kind of cool, because if this was a filler, at least I don't know if Denny and what's his name use the same. Are they in the same lingo with Bunky? That was something cool in the.
Yeah, we need to talk to people a little bit older than us to see whether in the early 80s, late 70s, Bunky was a thing that people actually said. Because I don't ever remember anyone calling anyone Bunky ever.
I agree with Sardines over there.
Yep. No, it's me, Sledgley.
Plinko. We're mixing shows now.
If anybody listening, watching, whatever, go ahead and put some stuff in the comments. If you know the history of Bunky, what it was used for and why, we'd love to know it, just to get some context for this, because I don't remember ever calling kids that, out on the, hey, Bunky. Well, unless I went camping, then that person that was with you was, your bunk buddy.
But you still didn't call him Bunky.
No, I guess I did.
That story fizzled with the buzzer.
Yeah, I was trying something there, but it's not working. See? So that's mine. Jarrett, what's your silly Spidey?
I really like the part where Mesmero handed him the electrified cash, and Spider-Man, and he's knocked out. And to a knocked out Spider-Man, he goes, "Moron." He called him a moron. After he took the cash, like he said to nobody, to himself in the room, he just moron. He didn't realize the money clip was hooked to an electrical generator. Like, you were really excited about it. He called him a moron after he passed out. To me, that level of pettiness is well done, Mesmero.
That's evilness where you just, it doesn't matter anybody's around you. You can talk to yourself.
That's right.
Yep. Dylan, what's your silly Spidey?
Courtney Holland in the comments says that it's a term for an old vehicle, Bunky. I have no idea. I'll look it up after the show. And Auburn Elvis says it's a roommate. Not sure why that's an insult.
I can see it like a warm, hey buddy, kind of a thing, but you're Bunky and I don't know.
Moron.
No idea.
Moron. Just, if you're gonna call somebody a moron, just call them a moron.
All right, I got one. And all I will ask you to do for entertainment value, and you never know, because these are guys that are about our age, right? It was somewhere around there. So they could be throwing some in jokes in there for themselves. But I swear there were so many phallic references in this book, between the ball juggling and then this joke here of towards the end of the book, where Spidey is sort of making sure that he's not harming the audience, but having to take care of them, and says, "I'll apologize for the rough treatment when you're in your right minds, people. At the moment, I'm chasing a nut." And I'm like, you could have been chasing a nut if you went after Debbie. Never mind.
Says
family show. That one's for you, Jason. Jason's gonna hear that.
I can't wait for the long bleep. You could be bleep.
I saw that and was like, ooh, oh my goodness. I'm not proud. I'm not proud, people, but it's what came to mind.
All right. Well, with that, I think we said enough about the issue. Why don't we go ahead and figure out where we are going to rate this one? Again, it's a 1 through 5 rating for this issue. 5 is you loved it. It tickled your tummy feathers. 4.
No, that's not the sound for tickling.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sorry. I fell down.
I'm pre-guessing where we're going to be.
Oh, I see.
So 4 is you really liked it. 3 liked it. 2 didn't like it. And 1 you hated it. It ruffled your tummy feathers. Let's see where we're going to be on this one. And I'm going to start it off with Jared.
I wish Joe November was here, Pat.
Yeah,
if Joe November is here, what would I give it?
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah, he's not.
Anything that you can get you to bump? Not saying I want to go this to the 3s, but that's okay. You know, I paved the way, so it's okay, guys. I paved the way.
You know, I'm gonna give it a 3, and it's basically because Mooney showed out. The inker stepped up and did all the pencils, and he did a great job. And so I will give it the 0.5 bump from Mooney showing out and that cool moment with J. Jonah Jameson. But it was yeah, you know. Moving on.
Delvin.
I'm Jared, and for same reasons. Mooney artwork was good. I'm glad y'all mentioned that. And it was also worth it for Jonah's comeback moment. It's like, I'm back, baby. And I'm like, yeah, Jonah's back, because I mean, Jonah and the Bugle, you know, cookies and milk, gloves and hands, right? Yeah, it's just one of those things that they belong together. So yeah, that gets the 3.
Man,
what do you got, Pat?
Just like juggling balls, they belong together.
Yeah. I can't. I'm sorry. I've led men before. I want you to know that in my life, I've led men and women. But you can't juggling balls. I'm going on mute.
Oh, well, I'm glad I got a good one out of that one. Good one, Pat. Good one. Came in at the right time. I am going to be with you guys too on a 3. It's the artwork, like Jared said, that kept me turning through the pages here. And the big deal with Jonah coming back was at least worth reading that part of it to see it. So with that, I think that makes it, we're in 3's company with this one.
I won't say the words.
Juggling ball.
We were juggling balls too.
Where the balls are his hands. Whoa.
Yeah.
A lot of editing on this.
Easy, Pat.
Well, in the chat, we have Elver and Elvers gives it a 3 as well. So anybody else in the chat get a chance to read this one? No. Kind of wait. All right. Well, with that, that's going to bring us to the end of this part of the show. You got a comment or a question? Send us an email at contact@longboxcrusade.com and make a comment on the make a comment on the Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook page.
Time to clean up our act, boys. Clean it up real quick.
Or maybe she's been there for a long time. Hello.
No, I would have gotten a text.
Hello, Mrs. Smith.
Like, didn't I raise you better? Yeah, you did. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. There's only so much that I can possess. I don't know. All right.
Let me
keep going, Pat.
Okay.
And hold on, I didn't say hello to Mom. I'm like,
go ahead.
Hey, Mom. I did. We're done. We're good.
You can also leave us a voicemail that we just might play on the show, go ahead and leave us one at 707-532-5269. That's 707-532-LBOX.
Pick up the phone.
Operators are standing by with balls in hand.
Oh my, oh my.
Okay. We will be right back.
Can't take us anywhere, I swear.
No. The simplest things that amuse us all.
I, for one, have been trying to keep them on the straight and narrow. There, Mrs. Smith.
Who are you saying that to? She knows you. She knows you at this.
That was the only voice of reason.
Oh my goodness. My goodness.
We have any more people in the chat? Everybody get added?
I think so. We got 5 right now, of which I got Auburn Elvis, MVP, Courtney, Big Easy, and my mommy.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah, that's it. We can keep it going.
Dang. Straight up called out on the show. Well, there's no fooling her. She didn't even give me a moment. She didn't give me half a moment of, well, maybe no.
No,
Maybe
she's been around.
changed. Yeah.
She's been around the block, man. She knows you're not gonna get one past her at this point.
Oh, all right. Well, we can get going if you guys want to keep moving here.
Let's do
Let's
it.
go.
Let's go. All right. We will come on back in 5, 4, 3. Welcome back from the break. Now let's get to the second featured comic for this episode, which is determined by our Crusader Club members. Club members get to vote on this segment using the online poll only available on the Longbox Crusade page at patreon.com. As always, we want to thank our Crusader Club members for voting to help determine the programming for this show. If you want to get in on the voting and all of the other amazing benefits of being a Crusaders Club member, just head on over to patreon.com and search for Longbox Crusade. You can join in as little as $1 a month and help determine what each episode's second feature will be. But for this episode, the Crusader Club member selected Uncanny X-Men number 136. So they really wanted us to read some X-Men a little bit more, which I can understand because this is a bigger storyline that's going on in the X-Men world right now that they probably want to hear our, great thoughts on this one.
Jared, you know we're on camera, right? We can,
all right,
we
yeah,
can see your facial. See you.
Or they just want to torture Jared because he knows he likes the mind fights.
I think there's torture involved in this.
Yes. Well, we're happy to do it for him because that's part of being a Crusaders Club member and their voice is heard. So, credits for this issue are provided by Mike's Amazing World of Comics. Publisher was Marvel. Got a cover date of August 1980. Its on sale date was May 20th, 1980. Cover price is 40 cents. Editor was Jim Salicrup. Writer is Chris S. Claremont.
Esquire.
Thank you. Plotter and pencils go to John L. Byrne. Inker is Terry Austin. Letterer is Tom Orzechowski. And the colorist is the Color Me Bad colorist, Glennis Ween. Woo! So we're holding on to that Ween yet,
Careful.
Yes.
I got nothing to add at all.
I just heard that. And so I'm like, oh, I meant it in the good way, not the bad, because
see, sometimes like you have to run by what you're saying like in your head first. And then there's like, no.
I'm gonna blame it on my sickness. So not feeling good the last week. So yeah. Well, you can hopefully you will read along with us in reprints in Uncanny X-Men trade paperback, Also, Classic X-Men number 42. This was done in Essential X-Men Essential X-Men Volume 2 trade paperback, and also the Marvel Masterworks Volume 40 Uncanny X-Men Volume 5 hardcover, and on Marvel Unlimited. Cover credits go to John L. Byrne, and inker is Terry Austin. Jared, why don't you take us through this memorable cover, I guess?
Certainly. If you guys didn't get the Drifters reference, you're not about to get this one either. So here we go. And when the sun comes up, the Marvel Comics Group banner will be on top. Light blue with black letters. The floating heads of Wolverine, Colossus, Storm, Cyclops, and Nightcrawler are floating in the light blue corner box right down there, looking up. The Uncanny X-Men logo is yellow with light blue highlights, and it's cracking. The main image is Cyclops with too many teardrops. Try that again. The main image is Cyclops with too many teardrops for one heart to be crying as he cradles the seemingly dead body of Jean Grey. Because I don't see her waving now. As the rest of the X-Men and somehow Mr. Belvedere and Julianne Moore there in the background are going to cry now. They're going to cry. Cry. If you get that one, I'll be really impressed.
I like the Tears of a Clown.
Yeah, you're close. It's a pretty good song called 96 Tears by Question Mark and the Mysterians. Yeah.
Nope. Jared. Hi, this is Planet Earth.
Good song. I don't care what you say.
People listen to Earth music. What?
Question Mark and the Mysterians, 96 Tears. It's a good song. Trust me.
All right. I will have to look that up.
And I want to welcome Blast It or Stash It to the comment section. I would sing it for you, but I want to get us a copyright strike because I will.
Well, you could sing it.
I will own it
we
so
just
good.
Can't
they'll be
play
like,
the music.
That's got to be Question Mark and the Mysterians.
So, all right. Well, let's get to some quick cover thoughts on this one, and we'll start with Delvin.
It's very clear that they're giving away something sad happened in this issue because, I mean, there's Jane and she's all slumped over, or should say Phoenix, Dark Phoenix / Jean Phoenix, Phoenix Jean, Jean Dark, one of those, Gray Phoenix Dark Jean, one of those. And then, there's like everyone looking sad. And then if you notice, if you look at the X-Men logo, there's like little cracks in the X-Men logo.
I mentioned it in my 96 Tears summary. Just
look, I was trying to figure out what planet you were on.
Cry now, 96 Tears. Let me see you cry now, 96 Tears, night and day. I'll stop. Go on.
No one has heard of this song, Jared. No one, not a single person.
Question Mark and the Mysterians.
So yes. It showed sadness was conveyed, and so you would get the impression that someone probably died in this issue, which didn't happen, but yeah, not bad for a John Byrne cover. It's kind of understated, actually, to where it's like we have seen some covers where I'm reminiscing all over the place. There's that Alpha Flight cover where you had Guardian and he had that the maple leaf and looking all cool. John Byrne can, of course, you're not looking for exciting and dynamic. You're trying to convey sadness, but sadness on the cover sometimes isn't really the greatest. And if you're John Byrne, who's at the height of his powers at this time, and I can't think of anything over the top glowing to say about it, then that kind of shows you where I'm probably going to land with my rating. What do you think, Jared?
I really like it. It's somber, but it's classic. It's memorable. Dare I say iconic? I'd seen it before, but upon looking at it in preparation for the show, it reminded me of the Crisis cover of Superman holding Supergirl. And this predates that by about 6 years.
Yep.
So I'm like, interesting. I'm quite certain somebody probably drew somebody holding somebody on a cover before this, but this is probably the first one to kind of put a stamp on it. And I dig it and I like it. even with Mr. Belvedere and Julianne Moore in the back. I think that might be her parents. I don't know. I'm not good at
Yes, those are her parents.
this. All right.
Did you not read this? Okay, well, I guess we'll find out.
Yeah, her parents' names are John Gray and Jane Gray.
John and Jane Gray.
I made that up. That's not true.
And I believed it.
They're feeling a little gray of just
Stop it, Pat.
what
Move on.
happened, but
What do you think of the cover?
I didn't notice the cracks in the X-Men until Delvin said that.
I talked about it in the cover summary.
Yeah, you say that now, but I was trying to listen to figure out what the song was, so I wasn't really.
Now.
I like that cracks in there. That's very cool. And you did take one of my points was this, looks like the cover to Crisis, where Superman's holding Supergirl as well too. I think with this one, you can definitely see the agony that's happening in Cyclops. Just that, that face of despair going on.
Oh, I thought his triceps were probably burning at that point. It's like,
Yeah. No. Well, I don't think she was that heavy. Well, in the comic, her mom even says. Anyway, we won't get into that. But yeah, this is a very striking cover. I like the colors that are done with that violet or like the dark fuchsia. Magenta. Okay, magenta. That's what it is. I like that. It makes everything else just pop in the background here. So again, very iconic cover. I kind of figure where we're going to score this one, but let's go ahead and find out. So again, it's a 1 through 5 rating here. 5 is you loved it. It gave you a ring to swing from.
Woo.
4, you really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
3, liked it. 2, didn't like it. And 1, you hated it. It turned you into a little baby crying.
You probably cried 96 tears when you were
That's a 96 tears.
Maybe
Let me cry now.
Well, speaking about crying, Delvin, what will you cry out 1 through 5 for this?
I'm crying out 3. It just didn't move me.
3? Really?
Yeah. It
Wow.
didn't. Sorry. I get the feeling where both of y'all are gonna lean on that, but
I would at least given you a 4, but okay.
That's my argument. Like, good luck spelling that.
Hey.
It's up there with
yes, absolutely. It's up there with that. Yeah, that's all I got. And instead of passing to Jared this time, I'm going to pass it to Pat. Pat.
Okay. Well, I am not going to agree with you, so I don't think we're going to get a match on this one. So we might get some team development, maybe a couple different sides. The Dame Deborah Smith gives it a 5 for that song. Okay.
Great.
I think she's just being nice to Jared.
Hey, shut up. Continue with your thoughts.
I am going to give this one a 5. It's an iconic cover, and I think that's what bumps it up for me. It's definitely a high 4, but the iconicness of it makes it a 5 for me. The colors, the artwork on there, the expression. I'm feeling this cover. Jarrett, where are you on it?
I didn't read it. Oh, it's the cover. Never mind. Let's see. What would I rate it if Joe November was here? Pat, guess number 2.
What?
Joe
What would you
November was
rate it?
here. Yeah, what do you think I would rate it if
Oh.
Joe was here?
4.5.
Correct. Yes. But Courtney clearly said in the chat, no halvesies. Ooh, this is tough. This is tough. Cracked X-Men logo pushes it up. I'm giving it the full 5. Make a good looking poster.
It's the crack.
Yeah, it's at a 4.5. I'm like, I'm sliding back towards 4, but I was like, oh, that crack
It's a
logo.
good poster. Yeah.
Subtle cracks in the logo, the magenta fade, dark to light to the bottom. I like to think Glynis did that.
Mm-hmm.
the predating of the iconic Crisis cover, I'm going to give it its props and go for the 5.
Woohoo! So we got two cool guys going with the 5, and one guy at 3 All Alone Island.
That's all right, man. It's art, man. It's subjective. It's in the eye of the beholder.
Definitely. And for those of you watching, I guess Albert Elvers is saying that it's a 135.
Maybe a typo in the title. We can fix and post. Everyone will survive, I assure you.
Okay. All right. Well, with that, let's go ahead and get into the story synopsis. But our guy who does them isn't here.
We thought we were going to get a story synopsis from Jason, but we didn't. So the only thing to do here is just piece one together. Pat, first third of the story. What happened? 2 sentences. Go.
So Alondra and her space universe force get together. They have a council about this, getting everybody together because she's real worried that nobody has ever seen this, of what's going to happen. And they all agree the Phoenix has to die. Otherwise, they're just going to explode the whole universe.
Excellent job. Then she shows up on Earth to fight the X-Men. Hank McCoy has made a diadem, which is a word used in this story, that scrambles her brain so she won't be as powerful. So they're able to fight her. Spoiler, they don't do so good. And I'll pass it to Delvin to let us know how it wraps up.
Well, it wraps up because they weren't able to beat Jean Grey with force. They had to instead beat her with love. And that's what Cyclops is doing until Professor X became in Professor X the day. But he did salvage it by engaging in psychic warfare with Dark Phoenix, which he definitely would have lost. But Jean Grey was helping him fight from the other side of that. And they were able to seemingly stop Dark Phoenix from taking over Jean Grey. But then the Lilandra part of the storyline comes back into effect, and the X-Men disappear off the planet, much to their surprise. Where do they go? Tune in to find out.
All right, very good. We pieced it all together. We came in like a team.
Heck
Jason
yeah.
probably would have had us sing like 3 verses of a song.
That is true.
So if you'd have divided it between the 3 of us, it would have been 23 tears.
I like it. I like where this is going.
Did quick math.
The math didn't work, I don't think, but it was close enough.
It did. It's divisible by 3.
Okay.
Okay, I'll buy it. Wouldn't that be 32? 30. You need 32 tears to get to 96.
Wait. Yeah. Dang it.
He got it backwards.
Tune in for more mathematics on Longbox Crusade.
Freaking maths in Publix.
Well, I guess we really don't figure out the math for you.
This is an action film face-off. This is Crusader Chronicles.
Let's find out if it's a first read or a reread as we go through some bric-a-brac for this issue. Jared, first read or reread?
First read, you know me and the X-Men. First read.
Delvin, first read?
If I read it, I don't remember it. First read.
Ooh. Pat, it's a first read for me too. Woo-hoo.
Double rainbow.
Double rainbow. Butterfly.
I sang the wrong song. I did the Three's Company.
It's okay. I did bad math, so
We're falling apart. We're falling apart at the buzzer, boys.
Maybe it is Jason that keeps us. He's the glue that keeps us together.
Ah, that is scary.
that explains a lot about our network.
Could be. All right. Well, let's get into some high, lows, or what does for this issue. And we will begin our first round with Delvin.
Oh my. At the end of the book, I thought this is a good cliffhanger. I thought it was a very, very good cliffhanger because they tried to stop Phoenix with force and they were repulsed badly. Did not work. This happened a couple issues ago. And so they knew they were going to lose again, but they had a good plan, a pretty good plan in place to physically stop her. Still didn't work. And then Cyclops appealed to her heart, to Jean Grey's heart, and Jean Grey was still a part of that whole thing. And they did a very good job of saying, even though the Phoenix is this powerful entity, they made sure to say that, hey, Phoenix, the Dark Phoenix still had to attach to Jean Grey in order to become the powerful entity that the Dark Phoenix was. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really good storytelling. I thought they got across very, very cleanly that every character in the book had a reason to love Jean Grey in their own way. And so this is a very emotional battle that was fought on Earth. And because it's the Phoenix, and the Phoenix is literally galaxy universe expanding, that's only part one of this fight, that it's going to go to a part two. So I thought the story overall was just really, really good.
Oh, definitely. I agree with you. I think as I was reading this one through, the more we kind of, we talk about Claremont, everybody talks about Claremont and how much he words and writes things and how much it is. But when you really think about it, with this book, you really got a lot for your money for 40 cents. And the stories that he's telling, I think this was one that doesn't take you a quick read like today, some of today's comics are. This one really gives you some meat and storytelling that's going on in this one. So I'm really impressed with how he's weaving the tale in this one together.
And as Jared has pointed out months ago, I would have thought this was a 22, 23 page issue. Nope. 17, 18 pages.
Yeah. That's what I'm surprised on too. I'm like, you are really getting your money's worth out of this. Whatever Claremont's writing at this time it's just like, would you pay double? Maybe. For the storytelling that's going on, I think is great at this time. Jared,
I know you got some stuff to say, man. So
I do. So when I first started this issue, I was like, oh, am I gonna make it? Because like Pat said, they were really Claremonting up the whole Lilandra and all the different aliens. And like, let's be honest, guys, that was 4, 5, 6 panels with a lot of words to basically say that Lilandra has decided the Phoenix is too dangerous to exist and must be destroyed. And that was a lot of words to get there. And I was like, am I going to make it? But the pace picked up quickly. And I hit my very first high, and I'll leave it at this after my very first high, is Dr. Maurice Feldman-Corbeau is back again. Where did we last see this dude? Oh, just hanging out in orbit around space. And who's he making phone calls to in the middle of his day? President of the United States. Dude. I want a Dr. Corbeau series. Like, he's the most interesting guy in the Marvel universe that he kind of shows, hey, I'm in space. Oh, hey, I'm the president.
What I want to add is everyone knows a guy like that, right? Like, a guy that like that dude or woman is everywhere. Like, and they're not even trying to be arrogant about it. They're just casually jobs like, oh yeah, I was having a conversation with Barack. President Obama. What? How? I just saw you yesterday. Oh yeah, I flew on a plane and we had lunch and it was just rich.
Dropping off some Girl Scout cookies,
Yeah,
find some.
everyone knows a person that just seems to be weirdly connected like that. And Matt and Dr. Corbeau is so amazing that he knows a team full of mutants, and his life is more interesting than theirs.
Right?
That's incredible.
I want the backstory of Dr. Corbeau there. Like, he's all, I'm in space, making my space phone call in the middle of the day. Who should I call? President Carter. Why not? And it was their President Carter representation was the way they wrote the accent. The Southern accent for President Carter was kind of funny. But yeah, that's I'll leave it there up to that sort of White House scene. Yeah. Auburn Elvis makes a comment about it as well. And Auburn Elvis mentions that the Beast ditched Avengers monitor duty and got caught by the President of the United States for not being there. That's a bad write-up on for the Beast.
And what's funny is Beast is a genius. He is literally a genius. Like, dude, you gotta skip out. At least like put like a robot there. Or
a hologram, an LMD, something.
He just freaking ditched.
I'll leave it at that, Pat. I've talked enough. Your turn.
I was just going to agree with the Avenger part in it. I thought it's kind of cool pulling a little bit of that universe in, just very little bit, that even the president is going to get involved with this to get that team of superheroes get on the ready just in case something really goes wrong here. I like that call into them.
Yeah.
And I like
That's the sign that something's going to hit the fire.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, the fan. If
something's
the
big.
president is calling the Avengers. Sorry, Pat, go ahead.
No, that's what I wanted to kind of pull in. That's what kind of started pulling me in a little bit more. I'm like, ooh, this is big. Are they going to show up or what's going on? And I was very intrigued of where it was going to go. I don't, or are they going to show up at the end? Possibly.
Probably not. You know how they do on the team, like team books, or sometimes if it's like a big threat, they'll mention, because they know that they're going to have some reader that's like, well, why wasn't the Avengers involved in this? This was a planetary level threat. And then like, in this case, but they explained it away by saying the Beast was on monitor duty, but the Beast ditched that monitor duty to go help out Cyclops, so the Avengers wouldn't have known what was going on at the time. Like, they always put some little explanation like that in.
That makes sense. Yeah, definitely makes sense on that. Delvin, do you got another high, low, or what the?
I explained a lot when I just talked about just what I like about what Claremont has done. And I actually will back up just a little bit. Like, I think what Claremont wanted, and that was one of the reasons that they moved on from Dave Cockrum to John Byrne, is that he wanted to tell that consistent story. Because if you remember, when we started reading X-Men, it was coming out once every 2 months. But Claremont clearly had a vision for where he wanted to go with the X-Men, and he wanted to get them there in a little bit of a faster pace than once every 2 months. So he had it going out once a month, which is great. And then you had that great cast of creators of Claremont, Byrne, Austin, Orzechowski, Glynis Wein, whoever the editor was. And once you got that cast together, it's very similar to how I compare the newest Star Trek movies, where it got to, that last movie, I can't remember what happened, but that cast of characters had been together 3 movies. You knew all the cast of characters, you knew what they were all about, and so you could tell nearly any story because you had that much faith and trust in the characters. That's what I'm equating that to with the Uncanny X-Men right now. Probably about 3 straight years now, you've had the same cast of creators. And they have put together just this magnum opus of a storyline. And I truly do get why it got the props that it did at the time and even now, because they were able to keep together, establish continuity, and create the story like they have. So, like, just big hat tip to that, because like at this point, like you know what you're going to expect. Yep, Chris Claremont's going to be a little bit wordy, but he's going to get his point across. John Byrne is going to have brilliant art, brilliant pencils. Terry Austin is going to back him up with inks perfectly. And then the lettering does nothing to detract and sometimes even adds to it. And of course, we all know about Glennis Wing's colors. Just that's where we are at the book right now. So it's really interesting to see it get built up to this penultimate point where next issue is finally going to be that big reveal for the storyline. So all that to say, I'm very highly complimentary of what's been done so far. And I think it came to a very good head in this issue.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just going to piggyback off of what you said. You did say a lot there that is just with what that team of creators are doing right now. I like this because it's a good kind of gives me that soap opera-y kind of a feeling that Claremont is doing here with the storytelling, that I want to know what's happening with these different groups of characters, and they all have different parts of them that I like, and some of the parts, some parts that you don't like. You know, it's like, stop being a jerk, so and so. You know, it's like you start feeling for these characters a lot, and to see what he did to have them win over, you know, it's like the Phoenix Force. It's not with their strength and their teamwork. Well, with the teamwork that did it was their teamwork of love. You know, they.
And what's and deep, and that could be so corny.
It could be.
Could have been, but it wasn't because of how the story was set up.
Yeah,
it has been set up that Cyclops and Jean Grey are madly in love with each other, and it's also showed it just in different ways that every one of the X-Men had a lover affectation too. So it was so well done.
Definitely, and the artwork in this just man, that artwork team is just amazing on this. Not only do they express the words that Claremont is saying, you can just see it in the art on this too. If you kind of just browse through it quickly, you kind of get a feel for the story. Jarrett, let's go to you.
This series has been dumb. I'm just kidding. I'm warming
96 tears. I just waited. Go for it.
I'm warming up to it. In fact, I will keep it a slightly more specific and say this episode or this issue featured a mind fight that didn't bug me so much, because it was a one page. The way it was done artistically was very intense, focusing on Phoenix and zooming in as she's turning from Jean Grey into Phoenix, and Professor X concentrating so hard he starts to cry, and she becomes the bird, but then the bird becomes dissipates. It dissipates because of the power of Professor X, and they did all that in one page. Nobody was dressed up like a gosh damn pirate or some weird crap like that. It was a straight up, well done, one page, artistically beautiful job at depicting a mind fight, which traditionally I have hated. You all know that.
Yep.
This one didn't bug me. And to Delvin's original point in round one, what a cool cliffhanger at the end. It's like, okay, we've got this insanely powerful thing that we've kind of calmed down. It's calmed down. Okay. Can we handle this? I don't know. We just disappeared. You know, it's like, oh my goodness, there's no time to breathe whatsoever. So yes, this is definitely on an upswing.
Kind of takes me back to the first story when they get whisked away to Alondra's area to begin with. You're right.
Yeah. Like, didn't Jean Grey disappear? Or right in front of Misty Knight.
Misty Knight. Yep.
Yeah. It's kind of
she had moved in with Misty Knight and somebody else. Yeah,
some other actual name character too, but I can't remember.
Yep, blank
a while ago. But it's that storytelling that's being interweaved here, that some of those callbacks you don't even realize that are there. I'm digging it. I am digging this right now.
Yeah, I can't say enough about how. Well, I mean, I guess Claremont probably plotted out the page, but the way Byrne did that one page mind fight, all you needed, and it was much more emotionally impactful than anything else I've seen so far. But it was also hilarious because it was the equivalent of like you're about to get into a bar fight, right? With these dude bros. And then like I come up because I'm that guy. I'm a smooth talker. I calm everything down. And just when it's about calm down, Pat punches a dude in the face. Bam! It's 100% what Charles Xavier did. And that was funny.
And it's true. That's what I probably do. It's like I'd be the guy behind you.
Let's go, man. Now I had it all calmed down.
Yep. I'll be looking over you. Yeah, that's right. You tell him, Jerry. You tell him.
But you know, interesting too. I'm gonna add another layer of that. I mean, we've seen the Phoenix, and like Dalton said, a universe, like she could destroy a universe, like a threat so big we can't even comprehend it. But look at the power on Professor X, man. He reined that in. That's impressive.
Now it was Professor X plus Jean Grey. What they did and what Professor X did admit was like I would not have won that just head to head with Phoenix, but with Jean Grey helping on the other side. But even that said, Jean Grey plus Professor X was enough to hold back a galactic entity. Pretty powerful.
Yep,
pretty powerful.
And it's amazing that you're starting to see their powers and just more detail and the in-depth of the X-Men's powers as they're learning about them themselves too, you know. I like that. We're also learning about it as well.
Yeah, if I could turn back time, man, and just sit down with Claremont and just get him to tighten up and a little bit on the storytelling, and I can tell he loves that. He loves Star Trek. Because like I said, those first couple of pages, I was like, oh, here we go. You know, we have all these characters I don't care about weighing in, when at the end of the day, we just need to see Lilandra say, this can't be tolerated, and we're going to destroy her. Now, because that's interesting, because that's Prof X's girlfriend. Prof X trying to save her, Lilandra trying to destroy her. That's interesting, but it was so wordy to get there. Like, if I go back and just sit on his shoulder and be like, dude, just tighten this up a little bit. It's there. I get why people like it. I do.
Yeah,
I do.
I think, you know, something like that's there maybe just because, just in case this is someone's first time, they have to give a little more exposition of what kind of level threat this is and things like that. But
I like how I'm giving writing advice to Chris Claremont. I've written 2 comics. One's been published. He's written about 1,000.
if I may, Chris, a note or 2, sir.
But you know, comic writing has changed. You know, it's you know, thought bubbles. There's a lot of thought bubbles in here. You know, as I've taken the rule that a lot of modern writers have, if you can't express what someone's thinking by their actions, do you use thought bubbles?
Yeah, I agree. I would even go so far as to say some of the thought bubbles weren't even necessary.
Right. It's just a thing of the late 70s and early 80s.
That you wanted to get across, like, not only like, okay, hey, here's a nail, here's a board, you know, like someone had to hammer that thing in. So it's like, okay, I want to make this point clear. So go ahead, Pat.
I was just going to say, I think there could be a good balance between thought bubbles, because sometimes you do need a little inner monologue going on here and there, but maybe I like that as far as someone that reading the story.
Like the Jason's cat spanner that we use on the show.
Things like that. All right. Well, do anybody have anything else they want to talk about for this issue? All right. With that, then let's go ahead and go and find out who went the extra mile for this issue. Ooh. Some good ones in here, possibly to choose from, but let's go ahead and find out what we chose. Delvin, who went the extra mile for you in this issue?
Mine's easy. I think it's Cyclops. Like, just how I love that you had Storm being, and I gotta say it one more time. I've said it so much and I don't care. Storm has basically been the same character from like 1977 to today in 2022. That's how awesome she is. Like, empathetic, powerful, awesome. And she saw what Cyclops was going through. Like, this man is going through hell. Let me comfort him. And Cyclops was like, nope, I'm the leader. I can't even, if I even address it, then I'm going to completely fall to pieces. I cannot do it right now. And then went on to, he was about to save the day without even confronting the Phoenix head on with the powers. Just like, you could have killed us by now. You're so powerful, you could have wiped us off the face of this planet. Why haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
And it was so logical and smart and well done. It's like, you love us and we love you. Please stop this. Oh, just it says a lot, like, to the martial artist in me, that like one of the, like, the first self-defense that you have, and you're taught that even in a self-defense class, you run. You find any way to avoid that actual physical confrontation, because at that point, in a way, you've already lost. And like, for Cyclops to have all that power at his disposal, where he takes off his glasses and he could level the side of a mountain with the power that he has, but instead was like, no, I love this person. I want to resolve this in a peaceful way. That spoke volumes to me. Love it.
But do you think that with Cyclops too, he knew Jean very well, that he knew if he, getting to her, he would just help her, boost that fight up?
I think tactically speaking, it was a smart way to go.
Okay.
You're just simply it's too powerful. Like the Phoenix entity was too powerful for even the might of the X-Men to handle. And Cyclops knew that. Actually, they all knew that. So he was like, I'm not going to fight you. If you're going to kill me, because you're going to do it anyway. So let me try and approach you from another angle. And it worked. It would have worked had Professor X not come in. Now, of course, Professor X did save the day. But in order to save the day, he had to ruin the day at first. But until that point, Cyclops, in my opinion, did everything that a leader should do. He did a great job.
Jared?
Foregoing Dr. Corbeau,
yeah,
I will also give it to Cyclops. Same reasons as Delvin. I teach leadership. One of my favorite classes I teach in leadership is emotional intelligence. Picking your battles, knowing what's smart, just what Delvin said. He saw that brute force tactics were not going to work. Did he know that, appealing to her on an emotional level was going to work? No, but he knew what didn't work. So he rolled the dice. And you know me, Cyclops is my favorite X-Men, leader of peers, peer leadership, toughest one. I love Leonardo. I love Cyclops, because again, here you have this battle and everybody's thinking, defeat the Phoenix, stop the Phoenix, stop the Phoenix. And Cyclops is doing the same thing, except he also has a thought of keep everyone else alive. That added pressure. That's why I like those characters. I think Cyclops did it again. He didn't even appear until the timing was right. Really. Yep. Like, he didn't go in there blast, like Delvin said, didn't blast with the laser beams. He just kind of walked up and was like, nothing else was working. Let's just try talking it out. And then Professor X came in with a body slam RKO. but yeah, Cyclops. All the same reasons as Delvin. That's all I really had to say. I wasted a lot of time there. Who do you like, Pat?
I'm going to agree with you guys on Cyclops because you guys said it so much. I'm just going to give a little different person, maybe as a runner-up, and I'm going to say Jean, because without the help of everybody else, she couldn't come out. And then it's her power along with Professor X's power, that, as Delvin mentioned, that telepathy, that, two big people with super big mind brain powers coming in. And I think it's with her too, helping to knowing what she's got to give up and what it's going to cost her as well too, to do that. So I give a runner up to Jean. Otherwise,
that's fair, but I did get a kick out of the part where they were like mind link, and he was like, for better for worse, sickness and health, till death do us part. She was like, that sounded like a proposal. This guy was like,
Hey, hold on, baby.
I guess I can't backpedal out of this one.
Maybe I did take the wrong approach.
I forgot we had that mind link. That's just in my head. That's my head, baby.
Albert Elvis mentions in the chat, he says Wolverine he would give it to because he didn't stab Jean when he might have ended the crisis right there.
Yeah, you know what? That was interesting to me because, again, I don't know the comics so much, but I know the movies. And I remember in X-Men 3 where he had to stab Jean to save everybody. And I thought, oh, this is where they kind of got that moment from. So that was kind of a cool click moment for me with the movies. Auburn Elvis also says, did y'all catch Angel showing up at the end after the fight? I guess that was so he'd teleport away with them. They needed him in the next story or something. Because he did just kind of show up at the buzzer. But he did, yeah, after the fight was over, he was like, hey, guys.
I mean, what was he going to do to Phoenix anyway? Cool her off with his wings.
Fly around her. Same thing he's going to do on the whatever mission they're on. He's going to. Does it require flying or a lot of money? Either way, I can help you out.
He's useless. Like, could you imagine an angel that had as much money as you and me?
Well, see, here's the thing. Because he wouldn't be allowed in the group. If he was, but if we knew a guy like that, it'd be like, yeah, he could be in the group because he's loaded. You know, it's just like, it's like totally, you can be part of the X-Men, bro. Can you get us a big screen TV?
Yeah, it's one of those like when in the Justice League movies when they ask Bruce like, "What's your superpower?" He's like, "I'm rich." That's Angels. He's like, "You can fly too." It's like, "No, I know what I said first. I'm rich, and then oh by the way, I can fly."
You know, it's like
fly around just dropping money, like
you know, it's like, well, who else are you going to get? You know, Corbeau's out doing his own stuff, so it's like I can't get that rich guy. Maybe I'll get this next in line, I guess.
It does have more uses, as Albert Elvis points out. He can carry Professor X now that his wheelchair is gone.
Oh, there you go.
There is that. I mean, I like Angel enough. Just some of those original X-Men, you know, where the universe kind of outgrew him. Kind of a deal.
Yeah, that is interesting to see that because you see we get Hank in here now, the Beast, but he's already on a different team and succeeding with a different team.
Mm-hmm. And we'll see that same thing happen with Angel because I was reading X-Men comics when he became Archangel because they really needed to do something.
And they did.
To get his power levels kind of evened out.
He was in the Champions for a minute.
That's true.
That was kind of an eclectic team, but I don't know too much about him.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think with that, let's go ahead and get into the ratings for this issue. Again, it's a 1 through 5 rating. 5 is you loved it. It gave you a ring to swing from. 4, you really liked it. 3, liked it. 2, didn't like it. And 1, you hated it. It turned you into a baby. Delvin, 1 through 5 for this issue.
I don't think I can go on as much as I did about the issue and not give it a 5. Mm-hmm. If I did it, it'd be doing it a disservice. And I think for me, a good sign of a book being a 5 is at the end of it, when I read it and they disappear, I was like, what happened? What happens? Like, oh, really? It's not over? But that's exactly what you need to do on your penultimate issue, especially of what this is. You could argue this storyline has been created ever since Chris Claremont started on the book. And for it to come to its culmination. Thank you. To get to this point, and they're giving it the treatment order like 35 pages. So at that point, that's like double feature length of a book. It shows you what the X team thought of the storyline that's coming up. And this cliffhanger leading up to it was brilliant. It's a 5.
Jared, are you there?
I agree with Delvin's assessment because it did remind me of that Flash issue we read where like Flash and Professor Zoom were like going at it. That at the very end, like Flash steps out of the portal and a guy goes where you're like, what? Like this has been insane and a thrill ride. Clearly, I'm not as taken with this as most are, but I'm going to give it a 4. And anybody who's listened knows if I give it a 4, that's like a normal person giving it a 5. So yeah, I think this was a strong issue. once I got past those first couple of Star Trek pages, it was just fine. So yeah, I'm going to go with a 4 on this one. No problem.
I can see that. I can see that definitely for you where you're at. I am going to be with Delvin on this one. I really enjoyed it. Thought the story was a good culmination.
Culmination.
Thank you. Of it all coming together. I am down with a 5, and I can't wait to see what happens next. So if you're listening and watching, let us know in the comments. Are you on the 5 too cool guys? Seems to me I'm always on a too cool guy side.
That's weird, isn't it?
It is.
And you go last too, so that's kind of convenient.
Yes. See, oh, you found me out.
Piece the puzzle together, Pat. It only took 63 episodes.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a new one. But or are you with Jarrett with the 4, or you got some other rating you want to give it? Let us know, and you can do that by leaving a comment in the questions. Send us an email at contact@longboxcrusade.com, or make a comment on the Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook page. You can also leave us a voice message, and we just might play it on the show. You can leave a message at 707-532-5269. That's 707-532-LBOX.
Pick up the phone.
We're all hot and bothered like a phoenix here, waiting for you to come.
Need Angel in his wings to come finish us off.
With that, we will be right back. All right, we're in the home stretch, so
yeah, I'm going
there's
to go
a
ahead
lot
and
going on here. So
yeah,
I'll leave it up to you guys
that.
what you want to do.
Yeah, there are a ton. Like, do y'all want to go ahead and do this right now?
Let's get it.
Yeah, I mean, we can go ahead and get it now. And yeah, I got to go because I got to go watch the Love and Thunder at 7:00. So yeah.
All right, let's roll.
Let's roll. I'm scrolling to it now. And 3, 2, 1. Welcome back from the break. Now, let's get to the feedback part of the show where we share your comments, emails, questions, likes, and shares in a segment called Crusader Comments. We are thrilled to kick off these comments with special shout outs to our Crusaders Club members. These are the fine folks that have joined our crusade. They enjoy early access to special Longbox episodes, voting to help determine show content, and so much more. These are the folks reaping the benefits and giving some much appreciated support to the show.
To start us off, and Helica Wolf.
No. Auburn Elvis.
Bill Beer.
Blast it or stash it.
Braxton Underwood.
Captain Entropy.
Clinton Robinson.
Dave Collins. Butt Battle Wagon.
Gary V.
Gene Hendricks.
Gerald Green.
Jason King.
Jeremy L.
Jim Drummond. I hope you like Jim Drummond too.
Joe Thomas. No halfsies.
John Watson.
Josh Strickland.
Candace Ward.
The MVP, Kathy Bright.
Mark Ross, subknown as Cluck Trent.
Maxwell Traver.
Miranda W.
B.D. Devins.
Paul Hicks.
Rick from Jeff and Rick Present.
Rob Morgan.
Ryan Daly.
Samantha Maney.
Sean Urbanski.
Spidey 67.
Steve Cronin.
Tim Price.
Tony Pennington.
And Toronto Cop.
If we missed anyone on our list, we apologize. Keep in mind that we record these episodes well in advance of release, so if you're a recent addition, we should be adding you soon. But still, no worries. Just let us know that we missed you by sending an email to contact@longboxcrusade.com, and we will get it straightened out. As a reminder, you can become a Crusaders Club member by heading over to patreon.com/longboxcrusade. For as little as $1 a month, you'll get access to the amazing world of the Crusaders Club. Come check it out. Don't have any extra scratch lying around, but still want to help us out here at LBC headquarters? Please take a moment to write a review on iTunes for this podcast. Even if you just want to keep it short with just star ratings, it helps raise the profile of the show, and we will share your review on the next show. I'm going to add to that, if you have not clicked like on YouTube, you are doing it incorrectly. Please do so. And please tell a friend. We are looking for subscribers on YouTube. So please tell somebody who might be interested in comic books and possibly ball juggling to come to our YouTube channel and click like and subscribe. We would love to have your viewership and their viewership too. Now, we will go on to social medias, like, shares, and retweets. We are talking about both Crusader Chronicles episodes 60 and 61 from February and March 1980. Buckle up because it is a long ride. Let's go, Pat.
Starting us off is Adam Spector.
Adam Williams.
Age of Radio.
El Sedano. We left our wallet with El Sedano.
Gotta get it.
Alexander Douglas.
Alexandru Bonta.
Andrew Morris.
And Hello Confetti Wolf. Ow.
Auburn Elvis.
Batman, the Dark Knight in prose.
Bill at Spy Vinyl.
Billy Dunleavy.
Blair Ching.
Bobo Lalovich.
Carl Gibson.
Carlos Lopez de Victoria.
Carlos Rafael.
Carmine Del Vecchio.
Charlie Green.
Chris Shea.
Chris at BTO and Bat Books. Let it roll.
Oh, Christopher Clinton Patrick.
Clinton Robinson.
Comic Reflections.
Conan the Librarian.
Courtney Holland.
Daniel Mark Phillips.
Darren Sutherland.
David McFellin.
Days of High Adventure Podcast.
Desi LaSalle.
Dimitra Kotramanu.
Dustin Stab.
Eric Ward.
Eugene R. Hendricks.
Fan Elf Fridays podcast.
Philippe Cruz.
Francesco Venagoli.
Gene, but we already had Gene Hendricks. Oh,
Yeah,
got
okay,
it. Eugene
fine.
Hendricks. And it is covering 2 episodes. So that's probably the reason. Gene Hendricks.
Hal Halverson.
Hector Lavoy Alvarado Jr.
Ibrahim Bubakari.
James Charles Huntley.
James Jackson. It's just James if you're nasty.
James J. McLaughlin, 83.
Jason Alves.
Jason Halsey.
Jason Lady.
Joe Leeper.
Joe Stephen Whitehouse.
Johnny Knight.
Keith John Helwig.
Kenny Kersey.
Kevin Christopher.
Lagan Chase.
Laurel, the mountain flower. Hasn't shown up for work yet.
Lee Rankins.
Louis Brunel.
Manuel Cañete Mendoza.
Marcial Ramirez.
Mark J. Correa.
Martin Roach.
Matt Large.
Max Traver.
Michael Sillick.
Mike McKinney.
Monthly Monday Movie Muckabout.
Polly Pollux Nanloe.
Philip O.
Oh. Raf. I
think it's Raphael.
IL. Okay. Raf. IL.
Hey, that
Rich.
sounds like a good person, right, Jared? Raphael.
He's all right. He's all right.
Oh, okay.
Rich Britton.
Rick Heineken.
Robert Watts.
Rolando Diaz.
Ronnie, the man known as Spook.
Ruth Sutherland. Right hand Ruth Sutherland.
Ow. Saul Lerman.
Sean Cuniff.
Is it Stephanie
Rouillet Brown.
Brown? Okay. Stephanie Rouillet Brown.
Stephen Brazil.
Stephen Rooney.
Stop. Let's team up. A comic podcast.
No. Simon Zargej.
This one is also complex. He has liked our stuff before. TC Ilker Simsetin Tumlu.
Terry Smitherman.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to re-say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Terry Smitherman.
The King of America.
The Tome of Reckoning.
Tim Bass. He's all about that.
Tim Bass. Tim Price.
Tony Junius.
Ty Supreme. Yeah, I guess. Randolph.
Unpacking the power of the power pack is the power pack down. Stop.
Walt Nealand.
And finishing off this long list of people, we thank you very much. Willie Wilson. Whoa.
Them some names, people. Good job, gents, for reading all of that. And we are almost done. We have some social media comments as well. Mostly from Twitter, probably some from Facebook about from Crusader Chronicles 60 and 61. Or actually, hold on. Oh, excuse me. We have we have comments from Crusader Chronicles episode 60. I'll read one from Albert Elvis's burner account, who says he has that Spidey issue without looking, trying to remember and say that Black Cat did some bad luck things that ended up being just clever tricks, but it foreshadowed how later in her career she had actual bad luck powers. The issue gets a 5 from him. Thank you, Albert.
Nice. Good guesses too, by the way.
All right, I will take one from Carlos Lopez de Victoria, and he says very good. Or he says very cool.
I like it, short and sweet. And I will take one from Unpacking the Power of the Power Pack is the Power Pack. Stop. 2 words. Trash can. 1 more word. Bunkies. 1 additional word. Bang. Thanks, Rick. Thanks for listening.
That's a lot of words. And we're going to move on to Crusader Chronicles episode 61. Where we talked about Spidey 205 and Captain America 246. Max Traver said Spidey Cat is always a must read, but that cap cover is amazing too. Natch, we didn't like that cap cover. It was what's the color forms?
Yeah, like colorful. Great background,
Yeah.
George
Lopez.
Thank you,
Lopez. Really?
No, not the comedian.
George Perez. Really?
George Perez drew a great background, but the figures were just off.
I'll take one from Jason Lady, and he says, always like that Ditko designed costume. Had no idea he made another appearance. And he's talking about the cap cover as well.
Talk about Joe. Remember Joe was the villain.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you a story. Little Joe. Okay, never mind.
You're done. And we got one from Glenn Percival. Dads might yell at you for being too loud because he's trying to sleep. That's just good life advice.
True.
Thank you to everyone for your likes, shares, follows, and comments. We appreciate your friendship and your help in spreading the word about this podcast.
And that's the show. Be sure to check out the website, longboxcrusaderchronicles.blogspot.com, where posts will be made for journaling this crusade. I want to thank Jared and Delvin for joining me this episode. But before we go, let's find out where the listeners can find us on the internet. Delvin.
You can find me on Twitter at DEE_RAY1977. Jared.
I am at Yard Sale Artist, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. It's all at Yard Sale Artist, or you can check out my artwares at www.theyardsaleartist.com. I do have a little Spidey art. I do have a little X-Men art. Stop by, won't you? Pat?
Well, Jared, I'm glad you asked. You can find me on the Twitter at Christatos01. And if you want to interact with us via live chat, like we do sometimes, this particular recording is done via our Doing It live stream on YouTube. Just go out there and find us on the YouTube. Click that like button and smash that subscribe. We do this on the second Sunday of every month at around 3:30 p.m. Central Time. Check out Longbox Crusade on YouTube. Thank you all for listening, and we hope you enjoyed this episode of Crusader Chronicles. You got a comment or a question, email us at contact@longboxcrusade.com or leave a comment on the Longbox Crusade Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter page, all at Longbox Crusade. Until next time, take care, and please join us for the next episode as we continue on the crusade to
Read them all.
Read them all.
All right. So let's do some giveaways and call it a day, shall we?
That
Dylan,
works.
you gotta.
I do. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I added Eugene Glover, TJ, because he gave us a like on Facebook that I happened to see. There's 2 likes, but I don't know who the second one was, so I apologize. I hope it was Mom.
Jason Lady.
Jason Lady? Thank you. I will add Jason Lady to that. And now we have 8.
8. All right. Courtney, give us a number 1 through 8 in the chat, if you would, please. And while you're doing that, let you know what you guys are going to win. Hope you got some VCRs laying around, ladies and gentlemen, because let me do the little swappy thing. As recently did on Action Film Face Off, we are going to give away a VHS copy of Spider-Man and a VHS copy of Highlander.
Ooh.
These guys did battle on Action Film Face Off, and we're going to send them to you guys. So whoever the lucky winner is, Courtney has said 7. I'm going to send them these VHS tapes. Good luck finding it. If you need a VCR to play them, I do sell them on eBay. So stop by and see me.
You know, they say, Jared, that a hero will save us. Maybe in this case, an MVP.
MVP Kathy Bright?
That is correct.
Ooh.
All right. She won the VHS tapes of Highlander and Spider-Man. All right. I have our patrons list pulling up now off screen. Patreon traditionally runs a little bit slow, but it's getting there. We currently have, wait for it, 34 patrons, and we appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
If you'd like to be our 35th patron, that comes with the special benefit. If you want to be Patreon number 5, or 35, let me get the words out. If you want to be Patreon member number 35, you get an extra special benefit of being known as Patreon member number 35. Yes.
That's an honor.
Right?
The hell you say? Oh my.
I'm not calling anybody out for it. You know who you are. You know what you did. All right. Let's go with 1 through 34. I've got my cursor in a random place. Delvin, pick me a number.
9.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to skip down one more because I'm starting to suspect that Miranda W is not going to be that interested in this thing. Does Miranda really want a G.I. Joe classified Snake Eyes?
I do.
Well, then I'm going to click.
Hold on. 13.
Okay. Now let's give it to Miranda. I'm just kidding. It's our boy Steve Cronin.
Ooh, we see
Cronin.
Yeah, we got to
All
see
right.
Steve.
Steve Cronin, you win this. One of the benefits of being a Crusaders Club member is you don't have to be here to win. Of course, we want you here. We want you in the chat. We also know you're busy. So just being a Crusaders Club member for as little as $1 a month gets you in the raffle every time. So Snake Eyes classified figure for Steve. Some sweet, sweet VHS viewing for Kathy.
Very cool. Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Hope to see you soon.
That's right. We'll see you guys next month is our next, unless we do a pop-up live. If you don't mind, if you're still hanging out with us, please give this a like.
Yeah.
Tell your friends and send us cash money, gold coins.
Do us a favor too, if you haven't already, go through the catalog that's here on YouTube now. Jared's put up a lot of videos over the last week.
As has
while
Pat.
I was out. Well,
over the last week, yeah, I was helping
over
carry
last week.
things
Well, I
while you
was
were out.
kind of out, down and out. Jared helped kind of move the stuff along with some pop-up videos of some mail calls. So go ahead and go through and like everything, and then tell your friends like everything.
Mm-hmm.
Help us spread the love.
Spread the love.
With that, I think we will say goodbye. Thanks everybody for joining us in the chat. We really do appreciate it. We will freeze as I find the end button here. Bye, everybody.